obsessed with TLC and all the trashy reality TV. It's a recap. It's a recap. It's a recap. Welcome back to another recap of Love in Paradise. Let's talk season 4, episode 3. It was another excellent episode because it was cringe on top of cringe on top of cringe on top of cringe. Cringe de la cringe. I loved it. Let's start with Luke and Madeline. So in the last episode, Luke finally arrived in Colombia. He saw Madeline at the airport and she's hitting him, punching him, grabbing him, and they have that really weird kiss. And now it's time for Madeline to show him her new beauty salon.
3 months ago, I opened my beauty. It's a beauty salon when you gonna get your nails done, your lashes done, your makeup done.
Okay, she's the CEO. So they get to the salon, they get out of the car, and Madeline's like, look, honey, ta-da! And Luke looks up and there's this huge lavender sign that says, Made B-U-R-T. The beauty is misspelled. Yeah, that's very unfortunate since it's her main front of the store sign. And Luke points it out. He's like, I think you spelled beauty wrong. And she goes, Luke, you don't have to point it out. So he's like, okay, never mind. It's beautiful. Yeah, made B-U-R-T, beauty.
Baby, I love the sign. But how do you spell beauty?
Don't say that.
They go inside and it's all pink on top of pink on top of pink. And he really hypes her up. He's like, oh my God, babe, this is legit. Like, wow, this is so amazing. I can't believe you did all of this by yourself. I'm so proud of you. Super supportive. There's an eyelash station here. There's a nail station there. And there's a makeup station over there. It's all very cute. And he promised to fund her salon until it was profitable. So now it's time to go over the numbers because remember, he lost his job and he can't really fund the salon for much longer. And he wants to know the monthly expenses. Like he was like, how much is everything going to cost month to run this place? And she says about 3 million pesos, which is around $767. Then he wants to know how many clients the salon needs each month to break even. And she says it's anywhere from 60 to 90 clients. So he's like, all right, let's just go with 90 to be safe. So how many clients did you have the first month of business? And she says 20. He's like, 20? And she's like, yeah. So if my math is correct, she's short by approximately 78%. That is no bueno. Luke es mucho nervioso. So he asks her, do you think in 3 months you're going to start making a profit? And she rolls her eyes and she's like, oh, I hate when you ask me these questions. Like I'm doing all the work. I'm working so hard and you keep asking these questions. And he's like, okay, babe, I have to tell you something. And she's like, what? And he's like, so I don't have a job anymore. Okay. I'm broke. Soy mucho broke. And she's like, what? When did this happen? Last month. So you lied to me for a month? I'm sorry, baby, but the fact of the matter is I can only fund this salon for about 2 or 3 months. And she's pissed. How dare he not have a job? How dare he be in a position to not be able to fund her beauty salon cosplay? How dare he? So she's pouting and rolling her eyes like a petulant child. And she's like, this is bullshit. How am I going to keep my salon open? And he's like, I'm sorry. I know how hard you work and how much this means to you. And after a few minutes of pouting, she eventually gets over it, which kind of like I was kind of surprised because she said, okay, well, we're engaged. We're in love. We're a team and we're going to get through this together. And I was like, oh, does she really like him? So they're both in better spirits and they head home for some sexy time. And he cannot wait because it's been 4 months. And she goes into her apartment first and she's like, hold on. I want you to wait here. And he's like, okay, I can't wait much longer. And then she comes out in some lingerie and he's loving it. Now, in one of her interview scenes, she says that Luke was her first blank. And I could not figure out what that blank was. I have no idea. So if you guys know what she could be talking about, he was my first blank. He was my first what? Give us a hint. Give us a clue. I have no idea. If you have any guesses, let me know down in the comments. Moving on to Anie and Kyle, my favorite. And I know you're watching, you creep. It's a beautiful day, and Anie and Kyle meet up, and she's drinking coffee. And he sits down, and he's like, what kind of coffee is that? Do you have sugar in it? You don't? Good. No sugar, because sugar's bad for you. You know what else is bad, Kyle? Your face on my screen. She's like, I know Kyle's really fucking weird, but I get so bored with normal guys because they're so predictable. Now it's time to go to a different destination. So they hop in the back of a truck and they're being driven to the beach. And Anie notices that Kyle keeps touching his balls. Okay, constantly. He's always touching them, moving them, shifting them. I don't know, maybe he's got itchy scrotumitis. I don't know, but he keeps touching them. And after the 42nd time he touches them, she's like, Kyle, why do you keep touching yourself down there? And he goes, oh, I have to keep adjusting them so that they don't overheat. You know, I got to keep my spermies cool and in good condition. And that's why I never wear undies.
I have to like readjust so it doesn't kill the balls.
But don't touch it.
But they're too big.
Now, Anie can't help but to wonder if he's still donating sperm the natural way. She just kind of assumed that since they made things official, he would just stop. I mean, it makes sense, right? So they finally get to the beach and Anie's hair is flying all over the place because of the wind. And she gets out a hairbrush and she starts brushing her hair. And he was like, I want to brush it. And he grabs a brush and starts brushing her hair. And he starts talking all dirty. And he's like, so you want me to brush your hair harder? And she's like, yeah, I want you to do it harder. Harder like this? Harder? You want it harder?
Right? Is that right?
Yeah, that's
It's nice
good.
and slow. Harder?
Yeah, I want it harder.
You like it hard?
Definitely.
You like it very hard?
Definitely. This is too soft for me.
This conversation is making me want to shove a pair of scissors into my ear. Now it's time for some serious conversation. She needs answers. So she asks Kyle if he's still donating his sperm naturally, aka is he having schmecks with other women? Because the other month he was in Australia to quote, sightsee. And she wants to know if he had schmecks in Australia and if that was the reason why he went. And he's like, I don't remember. Okay, so that's a yes. And Anie's like, okay, please just be straightforward and just tell me if you had sex in Australia or not. And he's like, I don't remember what I don't remember. Anie's like, all right, I'm not going to put up with the lies. Like, don't make me look like an idiot and have me guessing. Then he admits, yes, I did have schmecks in Australia. And you want to know what was so freaking disgusting and alarming? The fact that he said she was desperate. This woman was so desperate for a baby. She would have gone to IVF, but she couldn't afford it. She didn't have the money. She was so desperate. So yeah, I let her have it. I let her have some sperm, naturally, by intercourse. Listen, I'm just going to say something, okay? And I know Creepy Kyle is watching, so I just want to let you know that I, as an American, am exercising my First Amendment right, freedom of speech, okay, you little bitch. And I'm going to say, in my opinion, I think that's very predatory. That is predatory behavior to me, okay, in my opinion. And then he goes on to say that it was a very professional experience, like a medical procedure that you would go get at the doctor's office. What kind of medical procedure includes a medical professional having schmecks with a patient? Oh, you know what that's called? That's called schmexual assault. She gives him an ultimatum. She was like, if we're going to continue our relationship, you have to stop your sperm donation. And I was impressed. I was like, okay, Anie, standing your ground. Please keep it that way. Kyle doesn't want to stop though, because donating his sperm is the most important thing in his life to help the desperate women who just will do about anything to have their own children. He needs to help. I have another opinion. Kyle is 1000% an incel. And the only reason why he's able to get his ding-dong into a donut is because he preys on vulnerable, desperate women. In my opinion, this is my opinion. I'm not saying that it's fact. It is my opinion, okay? Okay, that's just my opinion, okay, ya creep? Let's move on to Alex and Adriano. So Alex is finally in Italy to see her Italian stallion. When they're together physically, they're a gorgeous couple. My goodness. He gives her this giant bouquet of roses, they're hugging, they're kissing, and then they go to dinner. For a while now, he has wanted to move to Australia and he wants Alex to move with him and start their life there. But Alex doesn't feel comfortable moving everything there because they're not even able to agree on this one thing about their schmeck's life. Now, just a reminder in case some of you forgot, he wants to have threesomes and she does not. And we learn in this scene that he actually found a woman who wanted to participate in a threesome with him. And so he broke up with Alex through text message twice. So she's worried that she's going to move all the way to Australia to be with him. She's going to give up her career. She's going to be far away from all her family and friends. And one day he's going to be sick and tired of her not wanting a threesome. And he's just going to find 2 other women to have threesomes with and dump her again. I feel like that's most definitely going to happen. I mean, it's already happened twice, and history has a way of repeating itself. So it feels like it's definitely going to happen. Now, I guess in the beginning of their relationship, Adriano brought up to Alex how threesomes were very important to him and he wanted to do that in their sex life. And Alex was initially down. She was like, yeah, I'm down. And Adriano was so excited because he was like, oh my God, I love this woman so much. And now we are sexually compatible. This is just so perfect. But then when it came down to it, Alex was like, oh, wait, no, I don't want to do it. I don't know why I said yes, but no. And Adriano was like, what? You told me this whole time that you would do it. And she was like, I changed my mind. I don't want to do it anymore. So now Adriano is on this big mission to try and convince her to go back to her original answer. But the thing is, I have a feeling that Alex only said yes in the beginning to impress him. You know when you're so infatuated with someone and you're so in love and you just want to say yes to everything? I feel like that's what happened, and she's never going to say yes because she never wanted to do it in the first place. Alex tells him at dinner, you have to either pick me or the threesomes. You can't have both. It's never going to work. And he says, well, I'm never not going to want to do it, so I'm going to keep asking and asking and asking you to change your mind. And you can immediately feel the tension. But Adriano's like, all right, you know what? Let's just table this conversation because we haven't seen each other in a long time and this is your first night. And she's like, okay. Then after dinner, they go to the bedroom and they make out and woo! Their kiss was hot. It looked passionate. And it looked good. And I can see why Alex melts. Because I feel like I was melting in my chair watching them make out. Woo! And let's be real. When did we ever see a good makeout sesh on the show? I feel like every single kiss and makeout scenes that we've seen on the show, including all their spinoffs, have been so cringy and so bad. So bad. So when I saw them make out, I was like, whoa. Last but not least, we have Aaliyah and Sean. And their segment was very short, but I feel like it was setting the scene for the next episode. We're probably going to get a lot more of them. Now, Aaliyah and Sean are walking by the beach. They're getting some cocktails before going shopping. And Aaliyah looks so cute with her space buns. She's just so fun and so cute. And I just love her. Now, this is the first time they're going shopping for her as Aaliyah. So it's all girly clothes, it's all tight dresses, booty shorts, and Sean is watching her try on all these outfits, and he's very confused, okay? He's trying to be very supportive, but you can tell he doesn't feel comfortable, and he doesn't really know how to act because he's used to shopping with Aaliyah when she was Douglas, and they would shop for guy clothes. But now Aaliyah's only shopping for girl clothes and Sean doesn't care for girl clothes. And so he's just kind of sitting on the sidelines waiting for Aaliyah to try stuff on. And it's not really fun for him anymore. Whereas before it was a fun, enjoyable shopping experience for the both of them. Sean has a realization that he's now in the role of a typical hetero man waiting around for his wife or his girlfriend to finish shopping. You know how when you go to the mall, you see all the men sitting down waiting for their wives to finish shopping? And he's like, I did that when I was married for 14 years to my wife and I didn't like it. And now I'm doing it now. And I don't know how to feel. And I felt for Sean. In the preview for the next episode, we see Sean and Aaliyah talking about her transition again, and Sean tells Aaliyah about Douglas again, how she misses Douglas and how it's so different now, and Aaliyah lets him know that Douglas is dead. Luke is apparently starting a sunglass brand, and he finally got his prototype, and he put in $11,000 to have 300 pairs made. And Madeline's like, dude, you're broke. Why are you spending $11,000 on sunglasses right now? And oh my God, I was kind of harsh on Madeline in the beginning, but she's starting to sound a lot smarter than Luke, who's 11 years older than her. Oh, I was so excited to see Anie accusing Kyle of having a savior complex with a sex addiction because ding, 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 she's so on the money. Wow, she really calls him out. I was so impressed. And she got very emotional while talking about it, and Kyle just stood there with a straight face, like a fucking sociopath, in my opinion. And I really hope Anie sticks to her guns, sets her foot down, and just fucking tells him off. And lastly, Alex and Adriano have a disagreement about religion. So that should be interesting. So yeah, that's it for the recap. Let me know all your thoughts in the comments, and I will talk to you guys in the next one. Bye!
It's a recap. It's a recap.